Hi, welcome to my kitchen. This is Linda here with you. Today we're going to give it a try with liver. And this recipe actually came from my grandmother, down to my mother, and down to me. For this recipe, we're going to have a deer liver, flour, salt, and pepper to your own liking. And we have bacon actually cooking on the stove right now. We don't use the bacon, we use the grease. Bacon makes everything taste great. So if you don't like liver, you will love this recipe. So right now I've got the bacon cooking, and you can decide how much you really want, but really you want a lot of bacon grease for this recipe. So this liver is been soaking in salt water, and right now the heart has also been soaking in salt water in the refrigerator. I took this out and rinsed it the best that I could under the faucet with cold water. And when we get liver from our deer, we actually keep our liver very, very clean. We try not to let it touch the ground, because once it touches the ground, it will get dirty, and then you can't get it off. So now I really have to get the outer layer off. Sometimes we'll just cut it and cook it with the layer on. Here I have to trim this one. So here I'm going to show you how you can trim it if you don't want to keep this silver on it. Okay, so we have a very sharp knife. Okay, if you're very young doing this, parents, hang out with them when they're working on this. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half. My husband, Jay, he can do it all in one swipe. I cannot. My hands are too small. And you want your liver to look like this beautiful red. Beautiful. But now you can see where the skin is. Like I said, if the liver is really clean, you can keep the silver on it. It really doesn't matter. I have to trim this off because the leaves and everything just doesn't want to come clean. So I cut it in half, and I'm going to go around this whole ridge. Okay, so here we go. And you just go around just very fine. See how that comes right off? And don't worry, this is going to get really, really, I don't want to say bloody, juicy, but it is bloody. Okay, let's say it what it is. So you go around like this. And that's so you can work at the top. And then you can work on the bottom. You don't have anything attaching it. And that can be tough anyways. Alright, so there you go. Oops, sorry about that, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's filming. She's doing a great job. Thank you, Elizabeth. So hopefully, sometimes this can come right off. And sometimes you can peel it. No, this doesn't want to peel. See how? Here we go. See how that peels right off? Like that. That silver can come right off. Sometimes you're not as lucky. There you go. So this might be a little time consuming, so we can probably turn off the film while I get the skin off. I think you get, if you can't, then you can just take your very sharp knife and just do it that way, but that's also very time consuming. Okay, so we just got done taking the lining. This is what it looks like with the lining, and this is without. And like I said, if your liver's not dirty, whoa, my bacon's spitting. If your liver is not dirty, you don't need to take this off. But what you do need to do is when you flip it over, on part of the liver, you have this. So you do want to cut that. You can cook that, but you need to take it off so it'll trim nicely. And then you'll also want to take trim off this fat. You don't, in the veins. You don't want that in your meal. It's gonna be chewy. It's gonna be gamey. You're not gonna want to eat that. So you just trim it off so it looks really nice and flat.
Can you describe what gamey is?
It's a flavor you do not like. Some people do. Some people, that's why they do hunt, is because they do like the game flavor. Now, a lot of my friends don't, and so the way I cook venison and liver and heart, I cook it in such a way that everybody can enjoy it. People that love wild food like rabbit, deer. I've even cooked beaver, and everybody enjoyed it. People that like wild game, and people that are willing to give it a try and are unsure, and they end up loving it. So that's why I try to make it so everybody can enjoy it. So people do enjoy some game flavor, but like I said, I try to do it so everybody can enjoy it. Okay, so now the bacon is cooked to hopefully perfection. We're going to take the bacon out because, like I said before, we want to use the bacon grease. Like I said, bacon makes everything taste great. I actually cook chicken for people that don't like liver and don't want to give it a try. Right, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
That's my daughter. Okay, so I've got boiled potatoes going for a side dish. I do have to check those. Hang on here for a second. Oh, those are done. Alright, so now we're right at the right time of doing the liver. I have them cleaned. And the trick to this liver is a couple things. How thin you slice it and how fast you cook it. You don't want to overcook liver. A lot of recipes will cook liver to the point it's cooked straight through and it's shoe leather. And that's why a lot of people don't like liver. So the trick is to keep it a little bit pink inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this thin. That might be even a little too thick, but I think that's good enough. So maybe what
that looks like
quarter of an inch.
No, that looks about half an inch.
Well, maybe half an inch.
Quarter to a half.
Yeah. So you're gonna cut these. Okay, so now here we go. I've got the burner on medium. You want it hot enough so it'll sizzle, but you don't want it so hot that it's just gonna burn. I use cast iron, so I'm a little above medium. I'll get that nice and hot. So now what you're gonna do is I have a mixture of here of flour, salt, and pepper to taste. I probably could use a little bit more. So here's my pepper. If you have other seasonings that you like, this is not written in stone. You can put whatever you in there, but those are the most popular seasonings for this dish. And alright, so here we go. Here is what the liver looks like, all sliced up. I'm going to put it in there. And just dip it like that. So it's nicely lightly coated. That. And like I said, our son loves it, and he's a picky eater. It's not like I'm telling a secret. He knows it. Everyone knows it. And I don't even think he uses ketchup with this. And he eats ketchup with everything. So I will get this warm enough, and we'll keep filming. So here we are, about ready to fry. I believe my grease is hot enough, and I'm going to place it in there. Carefully, use tongs. I have this old-fashioned knife that is draped. My husband's grandmother's fork, not a knife. That ought to be in the bloopers. So you're going to put that in there. Here it's sizzling, bubbling. Looks good. Placing that in there. Like I said, you don't want to do it for very long. A couple minutes on one side, and then a couple minutes on the other. Okay, so what I have done, just to show you, I cut it and it's still a little pink, but it's brown, it's dark on the outside, kind of crispy. That's what you're looking for. Now, when my grandmother would do this, I think she would even go a little bit thinner and do like 2 minutes on one side and 2 minutes on the other side. But we somewhat like a little thicker. Like I said, if you do it thinner, you will want to do a quicker amount of time. So I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to show you the next step that makes this such a special dish. And it makes it, this is what actually I think is the key ingredient of having people like this recipe, this deer liver. And this is why I would love you to be able to give it a try, is you put a pat of butter. Of course, now you've got bacon grease, now you've got butter. Of course, butter, I have been told that when you do this and let your meat sit just a little bit, it helps set in the flavor. That's what my understanding butter does. So butter is not a bad thing. Actually, real butter is very good for you. Here's the special ingredient, a lemon. A yummy lemon with liver. Can you imagine? And you sprinkle that on top like that. And we can start serving this. I'll put the bacon right on there with it. And push that over. And like that. And for the people that don't like liver, I do have some chicken. It did get a little cool, but not the bottom pieces. So I'll put some chicken on there, and I have more, obviously a lot more liver to come, but since I fry it on the stovetop, I do it in shifts. So I'm actually the last person to eat, but you can, you know, do it all in one shot if you had a couple pans going. But here's what it looks like. Here, I'll give you a good view of that. And of course, the chicken doesn't count, but here's the liver, and we'll ask everybody as they're eating what they think of it.
It is delish. Tender, tasty morsels. Good.
I like this liver probably the best of any part of the deer, and the way it is cooked is just delicious.
Yes, I like that chicken. It's really tasty. She does a good job cooking.
10 out of 10.